Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see it. Now, we all know that LeBron James is one of the greatest players of all time, one of the greatest NBA players of all time. There's no question about that whatsoever. Some people have him in their top 10, some people have him in their top 5s, and some people even have him in their top 2, and there's some out there that just say, listen, he's the greatest player of all time, right? LeBron is a hell of a player. But like every great player, he also has his drawbacks. Whenever LeBron, in my opinion, joins a team, usually one of the things that ends up happening is that him and his friends usually try to take over that team. And you don't have to go too far than to look at the situation with him during his time with the Miami Heat. When he went to the Miami Heat, of course, he had his circle with Rich Paul and Maverick Carter, all these guys. And I think one of the reasons that he had a falling out between him and Pat Riley was that those guys wanted to make more decisions. And basically, Pat Riley told him, he said, no, there's only one captain on this ship. I'm the only one steering this ship. Usually whenever great players play with LeBron, usually what ends up happening is that when those teams lose, or if those teams lose, the players that he played with usually are the ones that get that have their legacies tarnished. And he usually tends to come out of those fires unscathed, right? That's what usually happens. And there are litany of cases, and some people can even make the case that, listen, this is the latest example with what's happening with Russell Westbrook. Ever since Westbrook joined the Lakers, although he has not been playing very great, Westbrook has been the undisputed scapegoat for the Los Angeles Lakers, and this isn't the first time that something like this has happened. And what I've heard from some LeBron supporters in our comment section, they said, who were the Lakers before LeBron James got there? Who were they before LeBron James got there? And my retort to that is, the Lakers would have done well if they had any other great NBA top-of-the-shelf player. Let's not make it seem like as if LeBron was the only player that could help him win a title. You could have brought in Kawhi Leonard. You could have brought in Kevin Durant. You could have brought in Giannis Antetokounmpo. And they would have been able to win a championship. Those guys I just mentioned are guys that won championships on their own as the man. So don't make it seem like as if LeBron saved the Lakers and there's nobody else in the universe that could have saved them. That's just not the case at all. And now LeBron is in his 5th year with the Los Angeles Lakers, and it seems as if, according to a report that I read from CBSSports.com, it seems as if Lakers management has finally had enough of LeBron James. The article starts off with the headline, Rob Pelinka did not have support of LeBron James and Anthony Davis in sitting out the trade deadline per report. The article continues, LeBron James and Anthony Davis had an enormous amount of influence over the Lakers front office by superstar standards. They played a major role in the Lakers landing Russell Westbrook and are consulted on virtually every move that the Lakers make. It wasn't surprising to hear from the team's vice president of basketball operations, Rob Pelinka, on Thursday that when the Lakers chose not to make a move at the trade deadline, he said that they are in alignment, to use his word, between himself and his two superstars. He continues, you can't force another team to present yourself with a deal that is going to make your team better. That's up to them, Pelinka said. And throughout this process, and I've done in the past and had conversations with LeBron and Anthony about it, and I would say there's alignment here, and that's all that matters. Here's when things get complicated. ESPN Dave McMenamin reported on Friday that Pelinka's statement about being in alignment with the stars was totally false. According to McMenamin's sources, there was no conversation between Rob Pelinka, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis on Thursday, and there was no go-ahead or okay to have an action at the deadline. No matter how much the discussion did or did not take place between James and Pelinka, it would be hard to believe that they were fully aligned because their interests are not necessarily aligned. Ultimately, we didn't find a deal that had a net positive effect for the short-term success and the long-term success. Those are both things that they're considering. But James is 37 years old. He doesn't have time to think about the long-term future of the Lakers. He's trying to win a championship right this moment. I think that the Lakers are finally beginning to realize that they are in the process of going through a 3 to 5 year rebuild when LeBron James retires. I think his contract expires in the next, I may be mistaken, I think in the next year or so. I would have to look at it. I think he has another year on his deal, or 1 or 2 more years, and then it's over. Essentially, what happened was this. He got them, by he, I'm talking about LeBron, to trade away their entire future, mortgage their entire future for two players, essentially two key players, Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. What do we know about Anthony Davis? He's a hell of a player, but he's not really an impact player. He is certainly not a leader. He is a follower, and he's injured half the time. And Russell Westbrook, well, we've seen enough evidence from what we have in front of us. We already know what we're expecting from Russell Westbrook. He's an aging superstar. And they don't even have any more picks, and that's one of the reasons why they did not want to come off a pick. The Lakers are going to go into a full rebuild when LeBron retires. Russell Westbrook is not going to lead this team into the sunset. And Anthony Davis, as I said before, I said 2 years ago, I never thought he was that guy. And it looks to me at this present moment that he's not that guy. It's something that Charles Barkley complained about on TV. He said a lot of this is on the shoulders of Anthony Davis. A lot of the blame has to go on him because he was the one that was expected to step up, and he just hasn't done that whatsoever. So in my opinion, I think this thing is heading in the wrong direction, and I think is one of the reasons that the Laker great Magic Johnson basically came out and said this entire thing is a mess. It's a total mess. Is one of the reasons Stephen A. Smith had the rant, talking about who's really steering this ship. And to me, according to that report, it looks like the Lakers are trying to get control of this ship because they know, as I said before, and I'm going to say it again, LeBron is about LeBron. He doesn't care about your franchise when he's done. And there was some rumors out there, or some people in media saying, like Nick Wright said, well, why doesn't he just go join another title contender? Just leave the Lakers. So essentially, leave the mess that you created for somebody else to clean up and just go join another team, try to win a championship. And if it doesn't work out there, you mess them up. Look how long it took Cleveland to recover. It's only now Cleveland is doing better. Miami, well, given that they have Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, and that's a very smart organization, they were able to bounce back quickly, and they already made an NBA Finals appearance since the departure of LeBron. They came pretty close, took them 6 games. So to me, I think it's finally time that the Lakers figure out that, listen, you guys need to take control of this ship because they've run it amok. And it's one of the reasons why this thing is a total mess. Go look at the roster. Getting Rajon Rondo, Carmelo Anthony, these are all old players. Russell Westbrook, all of these were recommendations by him. And as the article said in the past, they were consulted on every single decision that was made. So to me, I think it's quite stunning that the Lakers are now basically trying to fight to take control of their season and ultimately their team. This is basically what the article is saying. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about this report? Do you think there's any merit to it? Do you disagree? Do you agree? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, it's Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.